On today's episode, we're gonna cut, press, and puff. We're gonna take this pink hat and put some hot pink puff on it. I'm gonna be putting puff vinyl on a trucker's hat. So follow me over to SignMaster so we can show you exactly what we're gonna do. I've got my hot pink USB drive in the computer, and I had my designer come up with a really cool design, so let's see what it is. We're gonna go in the SignMaster software, and I'm just gonna open after I opened a new file. Let me check my USB drive. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna open my window, and there's the file right here. It's a Photoshop file. When you're using Photoshop, if it's not a JPEG or a PNG or anything like that, you can just take the file itself and drag it right onto your canvas. And from here, I'm just gonna click right onto my canvas, and there it is, there's the design. So here I'm lined up with the 0. So by looking at this image is over 6 inches wide. This is the hat that I'm working with. 6 inches is gonna be quite a big image. It's gonna go almost from brim to brim. So we need to cut it down to make sure that it fits into the heat press properly. So I'm gonna make it approximately 5 inches. That should give me just enough space where I can get a really good coverage on the hat and still be able to heat press it and make it stick to the hat. So by clicking on the little short arrow here, I'm gonna bring it down, and you can see that when you do this, there's a little scale, and it tells you where it is in relationship to the ruler right there. So you see where your mouse is, you can see that little line that tells you, so you don't have to keep going back and forth. So that's my 5-inch design right there. Now, once I'm ready to do that, I'm gonna go to the Apple and hit my Create Cut Contour. And it's gonna tell me, image detected. Of course, I just put it there, so I say yes. Now, from this, I'm gonna use image mask. I'm gonna take off image mask, and I want my minimum size tolerance to go down just a little bit. And I'm going to hit trace. Once I hit trace, there it is, voila! Demure is already done. So all we have to do now is just apply and accept. So now this is gonna cut on my plotter with no problem. Before I do that, I have a whole roll of puff vinyl. However, I also have this little piece which will fit the image just perfect. So instead of cutting into a whole roll, you can always do scraps like this. I can take this, and I'm just gonna put it right on the corner. Remember to have it, the image or the shiny side down, because we're gonna use this same thing to transfer the image. So instead of cutting a whole new roll, I can just use this, and I'm gonna put this right into the cutter, and it'll cut it out right there. The cool thing about these mats is that they're sticky, and you can put any type of scrap. Make sure that when you're programming it on the computer, that you match the inches so that it fits exactly on the screen as it does on the mat. If you have the mat in this position, you'll see that this one says inches. If you turn it over like this, it says centimeters. So depending on how big your design is, you can place it on the mat just as it is on your screen, so you can use small or big pieces of scrap. Don't throw them away. You might be able to use them again. Let's load it. There are several ways to load the paper. One of them, you can lift up these dogs for the pressure dogs, or sometimes what I like to do is I just like to take my pad, especially when I'm working with the cutting pad, and just press it up against the rollers. Now I know it's parallel and straight, and then I'm just going to advance the paper forward. You know, I do some of my best work in the dark, but right now I don't want to work in the dark, I want to work with some light. So I'm going to turn on the light. Let there be light! All right, I have my settings at 200 for the force and 200 for the speed. I'm going to align this with the little corner, and I'm going to cut just a small little test strip. And here we go, cut test strip. Nice. Even though I've tested this already and I have run many designs using the same settings, I always want to do a test strip with every time I make a design. So once I have the design tested, it's just a matter of taking it and peeling it off. And there it is. It came off really easy. It didn't leave a hole in the vinyl, so I know the pressure is just right. See that? Good. So now I can line it up again. And I know that my image is gonna fit really well on this, and I'm gonna stop it right here, and now we can cut. Once we have the image already cut and ready to go, I'm going to go to the cutter, and here I wanna do an area test. Remember, I already set up the vinyl on the printer. Now I just wanna do an area test to make sure that it's gonna cut right on that little sample sheet that I have. So I send it to the area test, and I click yes. Now watch the machine move. Boom. So my image is gonna fit right between here, which is perfect. Just what I need. And it's gonna start right where the blade is. So I'm good to go. Now, we're gonna go to the machine and do cut now. So I just have to go cut now and say, yes, please. It already mirrored it. Remember, you need this to be mirrored because you're going to apply it face down on your shirt, or on the cap rather. So let's go yes, and let the magic happen. Here it goes. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? If you're interested in making different types of hats, check out this video on how to make hats with DTF and white toner printer. It's gonna be in the card above and in the description below. All right, that's it. So let's pop this out. Okay, let's weed this real quick. I'm gonna leave it on the mat and weed it just as it is. I like to weed my vinyl while it's still on the mat if you can. It gives me a little bit more stability. Another tip that I like to do is I always like to weed the small details first, otherwise my hand is gonna be sticking on this and it's just a pain. And you always wanna go at a 45 and start at a corner, or depending on where it is, at a round beveled edge. Now this is going to be a relief 3D puff that we're doing. So we're actually cutting out the letters and it's gonna come out in relief, almost like an emboss. It's gonna give us a really cool embossed look. So here you can see I'm just peeling off, and this Wonder Vinyl weeds so easy. It's super easy to weed. It's fantastic, I love it. Even the center of the E came out, no problem. That one's attached. You wanna take your time, look at that, the D comes out, boom, easy. And you see nothing is getting stuck, it's really quick. I'm gonna do the inside of the letters because those are gonna be positive. So those are gonna stay just as they are. Take your time, don't go too fast. It weeds real nice. Okay, now that I have all of it, all the detail weeded, it's just time to take the big stuff off. So look at the advantage of doing this while it's on the bed or on the mat. I can just kind of go over it, stay at a 45-degree angle, and it's pretty much all gonna come out. Look at that, weeds super nice. Watch it go. It's one of those fascinating, what's that called? You know what I'm talking about? Satisfying. This is one of those satisfying things. Check that out, that's beautiful. Okay, so all I gotta do is clean these up, take them off, and try to peel your mat away from your paper and not your paper away from your mat. This gives you, it keeps the paper from getting all warped. So what do I mean by that is I'm gonna take my paper or my mat and lift the corner, and now I'm just gonna peel the mat away from the paper, you see? Like this. And what that does is it keeps the paper nice and flat and it doesn't let it curl. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, nice and cut, ready to go. Now I'm just gonna take a pair of scissors and just trim around the edges just a little bit to give me enough space to put it with the brim of the hat. I'm gonna make it just so that this is just above the brim. This is gonna be great. Let me get those scissors. Scissors, please, scissors. All right, I found my scissors. Now I'm gonna leave this little extra tag because it is sticky and it's gonna help me adhere to the hat so it stays in place. With these type of transfer sheets that are already built into the vinyl, I don't have to use extra tape. You can, but with this one I can just place it here, it'll stay stuck and it's not gonna move. The heat press is set at 300 degrees for 10 seconds. I am gonna bolster the pad just a little bit by putting this little plot of cloth. It's just a bunch of cloth stacked together. It's gonna give me a little bit softer cushion for the cap, and I might even use this pillow. Let me heat it up a little bit first. You know what, that's too much pressure. Let me just take this out. I think with this it'll be just enough. Let's preheat that. There you go, that's good, good pressure. This is also gonna help us soften the corners of the platen so that it doesn't leave any marks on the cap. There we go. Beautiful, it's nice and hot. We're gonna take our hat, expose the bill, and let's place it in, just be careful. Okay. And we're gonna lower that down. Perfect, just like that. All right, so now we have our hat nice and well positioned. Let's make sure this closes all the way, yes. Okay, we're gonna take our image and fold it in half just so that we can see exactly where the middle is. And I'm gonna use my center mark here so I know exactly where that is as well, so I can line everything up. We're gonna put it about a ½ inch away from the base. Okay, it's right in the center. And I am nice and square, beautiful. Let's take our Teflon sheet. Okay, the moment of truth, here we go. Don't leave your fingers in there. Can you wait? Can you wait? I can't wait. Here it goes. Luckily, it was only 10 seconds. Oh, come here, take a look at this. If you're looking for an accompaniment to your hat, check out this hoodie that I made using puff vinyl and DTF combined. It came out great. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the card above and the description below. This came out awesome. If you guys are interested in any type of puff vinyl or any one of the line of the Wonder Vinyls that we offer at Ricoma, please check us out at shop.ricoma.com. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when we're creating this great content. See you on the next one, guys.